Alright lads, so today we're jumping back onto Guild Quest. In this case, we have access to the Melee Nightmare Quincy Guild Quest. I feel like it's been a while since we've last had this. Maybe it was recent, but I feel like I haven't used this Ichigo in such a long time. But because we do have this Guild Quest, of course, that does mean we get to take out one of my favorite characters that released. Technically, last year, it was at the final day, you know, Fullbring Banker Ichigo. An absolutely amazing character still to this day. And with this Guild Quest currently running right now, and the fact that we also do have Captain Guild Quest next, that does mean that we are going to be getting Ichigo, Senjumaru, and Askin rerunning in basically the next couple of so days. At this point, it can get announced from tomorrow onwards. So for those that are looking forward to those characters, that means they are returning, potentially get another chance to summon for them. And you might want to because Senjumaru, Askin, and also especially Ichigo are really fun characters. More so Ichigo though, one of my favorite characters, right? Did I mention it? He's one of my favorite characters. Regardless though, this Guild Quest phase is relatively simple, right? If you have Ichigo, you're going to breeze through it. I haven't seen the stats for this Guild Quest. I think it hasn't been buffed at all. Don't quote me on that, but it's definitely going to be a lot easier, even if you don't have Ichigo. If you don't have Ichigo, your next best option is to use a character like Isshin, who's a really good character, not like as amazing as Ichigo in Limit Breaker, and it really comes down to the fact that Isshin doesn't have a reliable way to inflict stat elements. His increased chance is only against heart enemies, not Quincy's. But to my surprise, people are actually using Renji as the third go-to character, which is kind of surprising, maybe not, but maybe it does work with the idea of just inflicting stat elements, lacerate, to allow your normal attack damage characters to deal damage. So when it comes to this Guild Quest phase, you have access to two normal attack damage characters that truthfully you don't need if you have Ichigo. Because the idea is that you're probably better off buffing Ichigo's damage output, which is what we are doing in today's video. But if you do find that you need that additional normal attack damage support, I mean, Ruroka is basically a normal attack damage character with Flurry +2, good bruiser value, and also a team boost SA2. And then Grimmjow, a premium alternative, but even then, you know, technically, Ruroka was free, right? You were able to pick her earlier this year in the photo print round 1 ticket. But Grimmjow's a premium character. I believe he was also selectable on a lot of tickets. And he also does have Flurry +2. So you have two good normal attack damage characters and also a really good lead with Ichigo. So if you don't have Ichigo, you should still be fine, assuming you got those normal attack damage alternatives. For now, though, let's just focus on Ichigo, right? So the way we are building is going with this particular setup. The idea, I mean, I'm just kind of copying my build from last time, but the idea is that because he has so much strong attack damage, there's no real need to give him the Lieutenant's badge. But by all means, you can do that. When it comes to the soul traits, we are going with these 3 soul traits. One thing that we've not seen since the start of the anniversary, which at this point was 3 months ago, right, is that we've not gotten a single really powerful heart spiritual pressure character. I'm kind of hoping to see that for this end of month or at least end of year. I mean, it's bound we are going to get one, but all the heart characters that we have been getting have all just been normal attack damage characters. So unfortunately, we can't make Ichigo better by giving him a really good EX skill, because that, quite frankly, just doesn't exist right now. But for those that are wondering, my Ichigo is currently 3 out of 5, so SP 13, Focus 13, and Attack 13. And in the idea right now with the team that I'm using, we are just trying to boost Ichigo's damage output. You definitely can get better than this. If you have the new Ichigo, for example, you can use him. He has a lot of good damage buffs for Soripers. Additionally, like always, if you have Misaki, you can potentially use her. I do not own any of those characters, right? So for me right now, we are using Kisuke, the Khan-fueled version. And it's strictly for the 20% strong attack damage that he does give it to Soripers. Because it is specifically Soripers, it does stack with the Mugetsu soul trait, so we are getting 40% strong attack damage. And then obviously with Tenjiro, we are getting that 43% attack boost and also focus boost, but also 30% more damage to enemies inflicted by a status omen. That's the team. Let's jump into the quest. So like I said, it's been a minute since I've last used this character. I kind of forgot the attack pattern, so maybe I want to do this and then SA2. We do one shot. Bring it down. SA1. I don't think that's what we want to do there. But the SA3 likely would actually kill if we had just used that, you know? But right now, we're pretty much one-shotting each wave. We're going to let this run play out. See how it goes. Should be relatively easy. Soul Bomb does not kill, so we need to be careful there. This is a horrible run. I need to refresh my mind on the attack pattern. And that's already the final boss. I mean, 43 seconds for Ichigo is bad. But that went by relatively fast. So now the question is, can we defeat the extra wave enemies? We should, right? So we can't stop him from attacking, which would be a bit annoying unless Tenjiro does inflict stat elements. But with the weakening proc and the increased stat element chance, we're just going to sit back from afar, use a strong attack whenever we can. Right now we're doing really good damage. 30 seconds remaining, and we're already on to extra wave 3. Boost goes off. If we do somehow take damage, we actually do get potentially healed up by Tenjiro. Good thing having him on the team. And again, if he does inflict lacerate, or paralysis, sorry, you know, it can still be good because we can just inflict spasms on top of that. So, very easy extra wave, in my opinion. Of course, when using Ichigo, right now this guild quest shouldn't be much of a struggle, should be relatively straightforward. And you know, for the sake of the video, in the second half, we will try out a team without using Ichigo. But right now, what we need to be doing is get a better score, because 43 seconds remaining is not good whatsoever. So if I remember correctly, we do have to use our Sobom straight away. So do this, Sobom, then SA1. Unfortunately, there's going to be one enemy that stays alive, so we need to move a bit forwards, or we need to just end the SA2 a bit better. So that's the idea. And then with that, you're going to have the EX boost, and you're able to clear very fast. Right now, we also messed it up. Can we just keep it going and see how fast we can clear? That's the one there. Unfortunately, the only bad thing about this team is that even though Ichigo can pretty much solo by himself super fast, if you do mess up, then of course, you know, there's no one else to make up for that mistake. Normally, if you have a normal attack damage character, they can just, you know, get that one hitting to kill the boss. For us, we have to wait until our string attacks are ready. Alright, then so on to our next attempt. So let's this time try and flash step a little bit ahead of time. That way we can actually take down the entire wave. There we go. SA2. This is going to be the reset heavy part. But you kind of have to like kill Eban with the SA1 and also hit every enemy there, which is going to require a bit of RNG. On Candace, we SA2, and then can we kill with the SA3? Basically, 49 seconds for our next attempt wasn't too bad. Again, the most reset-heavy part with this run is in that third wave, because you just need to get lucky placements in terms of the enemies all lining up. And you also need the one-shot E-Burn, which is nice to see that this strategy is still possible using Ichigo. Because the last time we tried this was back in July, right before the anniversary started. So nice to see that HP hasn't changed much this time around, which again, I don't like. I would like for every guild questions to have the same amount of stats. I don't like one being significantly harder and one being significantly easier. Because to be fair, this one, you know, wouldn't have been too bad if they buffed it a little bit. That's not me asking for more buffs, but I just want a balance across all GQs, you know. There we go. So 21 seconds left. Seems like we're relatively fine in the extra stages, as long as we don't take any hits. But I do want to, at the very least, get around 50 seconds remaining in the few resets that we are about to do. So right now, decent. I might, honestly, it's maybe worse for the team. So what I might do, for example, is take off this character here. So instead, we're going to put Mugetsu, Soul Tray onto Tendra. So then we're still getting that, you know, 20% strong attack damage buff. We're now going to lose 20% strong attack damage with Kisuke, but now what we're going to do is put on Isshin. The idea for this team is more so to potentially get above 50 seconds remaining, but also reliably get a higher score. Now, the team that we were just using, with Kisuke, you can definitely get us a higher score. But again, like I mentioned, it's going to take a lot of resets, right? I have to get lucky on that third wave. Do I want to reset that much just to get lucky on the third wave? I'm not too sure. With Isshin on the team, we won't get nearly as high as a score, but we can still get a decently good score with significantly less resets, because now we have an additional damage-dealing character. So with that, we are going to go with this particular build, although I'm going to quickly change this accessory to offer 30 SP instead of 30 attack. And then with that, we're also going to go with these 3 soul traits. So the strategy itself should be relatively similar, right? The difference is that we're going to have Isshin to potentially follow through with some extra damage, like that, for example. Not entirely the best example, but that's the idea. Let's SA3. We do actually one-shot. Unfortunately, some of the enemies are getting pushed back. Let's just kill with the SA1. This isn't what we want to do, but we'll keep it going. Isshin did do some damage there. And then SA1. And then SA3. Not the best score, but let's retry it. So onwards to our next attempt. Here we go. Does that kill? Yeah. Nice. There we go. SA1. Oh, there we go. Then we kill with the 3. Oh, lovely. It's going well. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot easier with Isshin, right? I think the score we could have went up to was like 57. What even was that? 56? 55? I think that's still good enough. We'll take it for now. And that only took me like 2 resets using Isshin. So that's not too bad. That's what you want to see. So sometimes if you want to go for like the highest score, you know, maybe throw in the Kisuke. But having that additional DPS, you know, potentially saves you like 30 minutes if you're resetting that much. I'm not trying to reset that much. I like getting good scores, but I remember that SA3 or SA1 being quite annoying to get off, you know. Though I think we actually did do pretty well with that SA1. And look at that. The Tendril gets the paralysis, so this is what I mean. Enemy stuck in place. Weaken is still inflict the weakening. And then Candace goes down. Pretty easily done. And you know what? I kind of like getting scores like this using Ishin. Even though, you know, Ichigo did a lot of the carrying there. I'm a big fan of Ishin. He's one of my favorite characters of all time. I'll be honest. He's grown on me. He's gotten better over time, especially in Limit Breaker. Every time we talk about Limit Breaker, we talk about Ishin, right? It's nice that in some way you can still get a use out of the character, even in Guild Quest content, where he kind of falls behind because of the way his status infliction does work. Which isn't even necessarily a bad thing because it makes him significantly better in Limit Breaker. But to finish up the video, let's try a team without using Ichigo. Which, like I said, right now, your next best team to do is just to use something like this. The simple team. And maybe you could go with a different character. Maybe you might want to use a Academy Shuhei instead of using Grimmjow, for example. But Ishin is pretty much built the exact same. Not really going like an amazing, you know, build in particular, but same with the normal attack damage character. We'll just give him the full attack, full normal attack damage, full attack, full normal attack damage again for Grimmjow. Do I need to level up his stats? He's got level 10 attack, and she also has level 10 attack. So we'll just go in. It's basically a 5-5 Ishin, a 1-5 Ruka, a 1-5 Grimmjow. I've actually never used them in Guild Quest whatsoever because just one of those ones where when the character's so good, you just don't need normal attack damage characters. So let's see how this goes. The main idea is that we're just going to be inflicting, hopefully, Lacerate against the bosses. So even though we can't stop the enemies from attacking, we can actually inflict Lacerate. The enemies do have poise, so we need to be careful. Now, it will be relatively easy against the... Is the Heart Boss already gone? I guess so. So we're going to sit back here, just use our 2. Lucky for us, we do have the QUINCY dodge on Ruka. And I guess I'm going to save my Soul Bomb just for the extra waves. There we go. Let's finish up with the 3. Unfortunately, 1 enemy was left alive. Not the greatest score, to be fair, though. Again, I'm just kind of going in right now and winging it with this team. Let's see if we can at least get to Extra Wave 2. So let's use our SA2. And just hope we get the status prop. We'll find out because we'll get the SP boost. We finally got it. Nice. Because that does stop the enemy from attacking us. There we go. Back it up. I think the extra waves have maybe a bit more HP. Don't quote me on that. But it really just is the damage inconsistency more so. And we somehow took a hit. That's insane. At least it looks like we... Yeah, maybe we were not going to get into extra wave 4. Potentially, we have like 3 strong attacks to go. But I took a hit. It's just the lack of an increased Thousand chance is not like the best thing about Ishin. But hey, this team works. It's not like the amazing team. But it does get us into extra wave 4 where you do get your overlords. Even though my Ishin was basically max transcended there, or some of you have less transcendence, it's still enough to at least get into extra wave 2. But what I said, lads, that's the video for today, going into the Melee QUINCY Guild Quest. Great to use again, a powerful character like Ichigo. Let me quickly save that team. I want to make sure I don't lose it. Seems like a pretty easy phase this time around. Let me know in the comments below what team and characters you did use. Did you not use Ichigo? Because everyone's got Ichigo, right? If not, he's returning. You can actually get him in a couple of days' time. Hopefully you can, because he's a really fun character. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Take care and peace.